Occasional Australian series, we thought we'd bring you some of the wonderful Central West and moving up to the northeast. We're travelling along the Castlereagh Highway and we're headed to Dunedoo. Not that we're really going to Dunedoo, we're going to Coolar and then Malali and lots of other little towns that probably mean nothing, especially for our overseas viewers. And hello to all the people in India, all the people in the USA, and of course coming to the end of the Calgary Stampede, the last day tomorrow if you're watching this in July 2025, last day of the Calgary Stampede tomorrow in Canada. And we are just going out of one shire and we're going into the next shire. It doesn't tell us what it is, so we're no further ahead. But what have we seen this morning? We've seen lots of lovely agricultural land. There is, we're going to Warrumbungle Shire now. Lots of lovely land, a lot of crops sown down for winter feed, and some lovely black cows and sheep with very early lambs. And what's this tell us? That Australia has wonderful agricultural potential, whether it be pastoral, horticultural pursuits, and it's what we used to refer to, having just left the town of Gulgong, the town that was originally featured on the $10 banknote when decimal currency came in on the 1st of February 1966. Oops, got that one wrong. 1st February 1966 when decimal currency came in. Gulgong was there because Gulgong's quite a famous town. Jimmy Governor was in the police cells there. If you don't know about Jimmy Governor, suggest you go and read some genuine Australian history. It's also the site of the Gulgong Opera House and lots of dance hall, lots of old lovely historic buildings which some are unoccupied,
Which they dug up the floor.
and other ones have got.
They dug up the floorboards.
Yes, I've just been reminded. Here's a piece of local history what you won't find in a history book. We said Gulgong has got a dance hall. Now, most people will probably not know what I say when on the dance floor they used to get the packet of pops out and spread it on the dance floor because people didn't know what pops was. Pops is an aid to make the floor slippery so that your shoes, when you're doing the foxtrot, the Pride of Erin, and all those dances, slide on it. And what happens is it gradually gets worked in the timber and leaves a beautiful finish. But Gulgong was a gold mining town and people used to turn up to the dance with the shoes that they'd been out mining on or the clothes that they had, and they dropped little microscopic bits of gold onto the floor, and that then went through into the dirt under the floor. So these people had Dubbo.
Mandorin.
So we have to turn here. Because we don't want to go to Dubbo.
Turn right.
Yes, we're going to turn right. There's some grey nomads just went past. It's clear left. It's because we're driving on the left hand side of the
It
road.
was only 37 k's.
Yeah, and we're headed off now. Only a little way here because you might have saw Newcastle. We're not going Newcastle. We only go up here about a mile for the Imperial people, or 1.6 kilometres for the metric people, and we turn left. So basically,
In
we're on-
800 meters, turn left.
there you are, 1,500 metres, turn left. Basically, we're on the same road that we're on, but they just didn't join up. We found a lot of that in parks. All these roads had funny ways of joining up. Coolah, that's where we're going, because we know some lovely people in Coolah, but they're not going to talk to us today because they're at the Mudgee Farm Days, small farm days.
Turn left.
Discover the Coffs Coast. Well, guess what? We're going to be on the Coffs Coast tomorrow. So we're on the Black Stump Way. I thought I'd remind you about that. Black Stump Way. If you don't know the story of the Black Stump, there's some more history you can look up. Look up about the Swaggies. And don't forget what I told you when I was way over in Northern Territory or Western Australia. Look up Daisy Bates. Go into your local library and say, I want to see a Daisy Bates. 122 Malali, that's where we'll join a different road. We'll join the Oxley Highway at Malali. Yeah, go into your local library and say, could you get me a Daisy Bates book? And there's a number of Daisy Bates books. And if they say we don't have them, say, could you get them in for me, please? If they say they're in the archives, say, well, take them out of the archives.
Because I want to read them.
Yeah, how can anyone read the history of Australia if it's an archive? So don't forget Daisy Bates, well known philanthropist, anthropologist and author who lived with the Aboriginal people, worked with
Just
them,
over 40
helped
years.
them for many, many years. In fact, virtually all her life. She came out from England what they do with it was what I meant to say before when I used that other word there. Now, we can see some mountains. This could be the very end of the Warren Bungles, because as I said, we're in Warren Bungle Shire. So anyhow, sit back, have a look at the cloud formations, cumulonimbus clouds, most of them, especially the ones to your left there. You can see where the inversion is and where the water's held. It's all nice straight line, and we'll head up to Coolar. In the meantime, you can sit back, enjoy the rubbish on the side of the road that has died off and probably affected this video, and you can look at some lovely Australian agricultural land and think, why would we destroy it? Why would we put solar panels on it? This morning we saw hundreds of acres or hectares, solar panels everywhere. Stock might graze around them